This is really close.
So this is the Sweet 16 NCAA men's basketball bracket. This ain't a prediction. This is gonna be how it goes down. I'm big into basketball, son, and I know exactly how this is about to play out. Okay?
Yeah, are we going to both fill them out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we should do something. For whoever wins should get something, or the other person should have to do something if they lose.
You want to decide, or you want to let our viewers decide?
Yeah.
Which one? You said yes to the...
Let the viewers decide.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want me to pick first?
Yeah.
Well, I think you want me to pick first because you know I know basketball, and you're probably gonna go right along with my stuff.
So if you're watching this and you want to just go ahead and detail down in the comments, allow your thoughts on what we should do for the winner or the loser. You know, what should the loser have to do, or what should the winner get?
Yeah.
You know. Well, so talk me through some of this. What you got? You got Auburn and Michigan playing.
Yeah. Auburn. This is the South. Michigan is going to beat Auburn.
This is the South.
Yeah.
This is the South. Michigan's going to win.
Well, you know, the division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm picking Michigan over Auburn.
Okay.
Ole Miss over Michigan State.
Okay.
I mean, that's freaking clear. Let's go to the West. Florida over Maryland. Texas Tech over Arkansas. That's a give me.
Wow.
That's a
give me.
That's a give me right there.
You know who the coach of Arkansas is now?
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Tyler Perry. Let's see. Tennessee versus Kentucky. Listen. Kentucky is basketball country. Period. That is basketball country. Tennessee sucks. Do you know why all the trees in Georgia lean toward Tennessee?
No.
Because Tennessee sucks. It's literally sucking the trees, leaning them over. Tennessee sucks.
Wow.
So Purdue, that's basketball country.
Purdue.
Yeah. We're going to go if you don't pick Duke, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Alabama over BYU.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? BYU's hot, right?
Yeah, just for now.
Okay.
I mean, they're about to get rolled by the tide. You know what I mean?
Okay, now you're down to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
The Elite Eight. A lot of you's probably going to say, what in the crap is he thinking? Ole Miss, easy. That's going to be by 12. Ole Miss by 12. It's going to be Duke by 18. Kentucky by 4. Florida by 10.
Where are you coming up with these figures?
I've studied this, dude. I've literally studied this. I've studied this the whole season.
Do you have a favorite team? Are you biased by any of these picks?
Well, like none of these teams are my favorite, but I've always leaned toward Duke.
Okay.
You know, because when I was a kid, Duke was doing it. You know, Duke,
91, 92.
Yeah, Duke.
Leitner.
Yeah. Christian
Bobby
Laettner,
Hurley.
Christian Laettner.
Bobby Hurley.
They was doing it.
Grant Hill.
Yeah.
Thomas Hill.
I don't recollect him.
Okay.
So then we're going to go, I'm going to go Florida.
Okay.
Over Ole Miss.
Yep.
Did Georgia not beat Florida about a month ago?
Georgia made the tournament and they lost to Gonzaga already in the first round, so why are we bringing up Georgia?
But I want to say I watched the Georgia-Florida game and Georgia beat Florida. I missed that in my computing. I'm sorry about that. I missed that.
You still think Florida's going to...
Because I watched every game. Every game. I just didn't run numbers. I watched the dang games. It's hard to remember all of them.
Okay.
Uh,
Duke, Kentucky. There it is again.
I mean, that's this right here is basketball country.
It is.
Why ain't Indiana in this thing?
Well, if you
This
had
is some bull crap.
Duke, he's feeling it. Yep, I heard that. By how many?
Oh, over Kentucky, that's going to be 5.
Ooh, tight.
Yeah,
Free
so-
throws at the end.
Yeah, we know what happened. You can talk about that.
Yeah. Duke. Well, go ahead. Well, how many? In case we tie, how many points will be scored in the championship game?
Oh, how many total points?
Yeah, by both teams.
So this will be total combined.
Right.
Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships.
Heard that. What you got? 172. Wow.
That's total.
You realize that's a high flying offensive score, right?
No, not really.
What's your score prediction? What's your score total? What do they score? What does Duke have and Florida have? Just throw it out. You got it in your head.
Duke's going to have 86.
Yeah.
And
And what's Florida got?
60 something. All right, you want me to take these off so you can do one? Or you got to reset it?
Yeah.
You got to reset it? It's going to be 86 to 60 something.
Okay. 60 what?
Look how that went up.
Yeah, you wanted 172, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's refresh this, and I'll tell you how it's really gonna go.
No, mine wasn't no joke.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
but
watched all the games
You
this year.
understand that I know
You're
basketball.
up on basketball.
I know
yeah.
basketball.
Yeah, but I watched all the games.
I'm gonna start over here on the East. Duke, Arizona. Duke has already beat Arizona this year, and
Scrimmage.
no, not a scrimmage. And Arizona has a North Carolina transfer named Caleb Love, who is a freaking pissant, and Cooper Flagg's going to pull his pants down and kick him in the butt.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's what's going to happen. So Duke by freaking, I would say Duke by 18.
Okay.
Duke by 18. BYU and Alabama. BYU's on a little hot streak, the Tide. They're not, the Tide aren't looking quite as good as they were, in my opinion, whenever they beat Auburn in the last game of the regular season. The Iron Bowl of basketball, it just, they look good then, but Auburn's kind of fallen off. So Alabama, BYU, it's going to be a tight game, but I actually do think Alabama will win. Alabama will win. Moving down to Houston and Purdue. Purdue, they made the national championship game last year. They did. They lost to UConn, Dan Hurley, Bobby Hurley's brother. The Houston Cougars have lost 3 games this year, 4 games this year. Been good all year. Purdue, they kind of played that weak Big Ten schedule. I'm gonna have to go Houston on that, so I'm digressing with you there. I'm diverging from you.
Yeah.
Houston wins. That's where you're wrong. Kentucky and Tennessee. Tennessee sucks. Texas Tech and Arkansas. Tyler Perry's been coaching Arkansas, and he's been classic. He was coaching at Kentucky last year.
Yeah.
So now he's coaching Arkansas. Well, has he built up enough trust with his players? Boogie, he's been out most of the season, and now he's back for Arkansas. So they're playing better. They beat Kansas. They upset St. John's. Can they beat Texas Tech?
Click it.
That's a tough one right there. That's a tough one. Texas Tech is more prolific offense, better defense. They're better at threes. They turn the ball over less. You'd think Texas Tech, right? Freaking Arkansas. They got Boogie back. They're going to the Elite Eight. Boy.
Yeah.
Florida, Maryland. Maryland just won against Colorado State on a buzzer beater. Derek Queen, he's kind of fat. He's a freshman. He's 18 years old. They won. I don't think he's going to do it again. Florida's going to win by double digits. Michigan State, Ole Miss. Michigan State's very unimpressive. They're a 2 seed. They barely lost this year. Kind of rolled through the Big Ten for most of the season. Of course, they didn't win the Big Ten championship. Michigan won that. But Tom Izzo, he gets them rolling in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So, Ole Miss, they got Jamin Brakefield. He's kind of a star. Duke transfer. Not very good, though. Ole Miss as a team. They lost a lot this year, but they played in the SEC, which was the best conference. So, a lot of losses this year. You can be chalked up to the fact that they played Florida. They had to play Tennessee. They had to play Kentucky. They had to play Auburn. They had to play Alabama. They had to play Arkansas. Michigan State still wins. Close game. All right. Michigan-Auburn. This is a good one right here. This is a real good one. Auburn, everybody thinks is going to win. They're the #1 overall seed. Well, I freaking hate Auburn. I'll just be honest. So that makes it a little bit biased. But I can be objective. I can be objective. I'll pick them objective. Even though I hate Auburn, they were pretty good this year. They faded late. Michigan, they won the Big Ten championship. They're coming on. They've looked really good in the tournament. Michigan wins.
There you go.
Michigan State. What a freaking Elite Eight
That's
game.
literally the only thing you made sense the whole thing about. Continue. Continue.
Moving back over here to Duke. Duke beats Alabama. Kentucky. That'd be a big upset of Houston. It would. Kentucky. Florida, Arkansas. Florida wins easy. Michigan State. Now that is a tight game right there, son. That's a game. That's a game. That's fun to watch right there. Michigan wins. They're hot. They're hot. Duke beats Kentucky easy. Michigan, Florida. Florida puts the end to the run for Michigan. They put an end to the run. Florida's rolling. They're rolling. They didn't look great, to be honest, in the tournament so far after winning the SEC championship, but they're just pretty much dominating everybody. I mean, they had a tough game against UConn. Like, nobody wants to play UConn right now, and they had to as an 8 seed, as a 1 versus an 8, and they won. So they pulled it out. All you got to do is win. You just win. That's all they worry about. They're not worried about how ugly it is. They're just winning. Until they get to the freaking national championship game and Cooper Flagg puts it on them, son. Duke wins. Done.
Huh.
So we have the same final here.
We do.
So we have a pretty similar bracket, to be honest with you. So it might come down to this. And you said defense wins championships, but in this day and age of basketball, it's not working. Offense is what really wins championships. Okay? So at halftime, the score of this game is going to be 38-36 Duke.
Okay.
38-36 Duke. And then the final score is going to be 78-76 Duke. Let me go down here. Boom. 154. That's it. 78-76 Duke.
172.
Huh? Do y'all see that bracket? I hope you see it, but don't worry if you don't. Just pay attention to the next few weeks and you'll see. You'll see that right there. So what do I get if I win?
They got to allow it in the comment.
What if nobody allows something?
Then it's dang sandlappers, son.
Huh?
Sandlappers. You know what a sandlapper is? Somebody that walks around the dang desert licking sand all the time.
Hold on.
Lapping up sand.
Who sponsored this video, Corn?
Oh, this video right here is brought to you by Michelin. Michelin is really who makes all basketballs.
Really?
Yeah, they make all basketballs.
Really? The food critics?
No. Michelin Tar Company. The
No.
ones that make a tar.
No, Michelin star restaurant?
No, Michelin that makes the tars. They really make all basketballs. And then they sell them to various companies, Rawlins,
Spalding.
Spalding, all them other, places like that. They make all the dang basketballs. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Michelin, for
Thank you.
send us a basketball, by the way.
They did?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in the truck.
Whose truck?
My truck.
There's a theme here. I never see what's sent.
Well, I didn't drive my truck.
I mean, the whole spider wire debacle.
I didn't drive my truck. I walk here from where I stay. My truck's still at the house. So, but next time I drive my truck, I'll bring it.
So thanks to Michelin for sponsoring this video.
Yeah. Thank you.